morning, church. Good morning. As I walked upon the inside of church today,
Okay.
and I went to sincerely put my bag down, I was confronted, harassed, rushed upon, no space, no room to breathe. And someone whispered to me, "Can you get that tested?" You said, "Can I get that tested?" No. Of course, yes, I bet she's getting baptized. And I leave the end to the end of this sermon. Anyway, the Lord knows that He has destined for more than one baptism today. Anyway, let me do my sermon.
Prophesy.
Stop it. Calm down. I sent out a lesson notes to everyone. Please do share it. And we are continuing on with our series, our character series of the characters of the Bible. And today we're going to be looking at a good old mate called Lot.
Nice.
The title of the lesson is, Are You Running to God or Distraction? Are you running to God or distraction? Life is very simple. Sometimes you want to complicate life. Life is actually really very simple. Luke 13 verse 5, Jesus speaking, He said, I tell you the truth. Jesus wants to tell you the truth today. Will you listen or not? Jesus says, I tell you the truth. No. But unless you repent, you too will all perish. See, life is much simpler than most believe. The parts of life are not as complex or as numerous as many believe. Jesus believed there were only two directions in life: repentance or perishing here on earth and in, did I put it again? And in hell. There's only two directions. It's actually very simple, isn't it? Once you understand that life is that simple, it makes your decisions very simple. You know, I've had many friends that have radically understood there's only two directions in life. One of my friends, Jesse Cross, good to see you, Jesse, if you're watching. Jesse studied the Bible, finished all his Bible studies. If you know Jesse, he loves skiing, snowboarding in his life. And he had already a snowboarding trip planned with his mates. And they were going to drive up in the icy road at night. Dangerous roads. He's finished all his Bible study. But yet he wasn't jumping into the waters of baptism. He wasn't yet jumping. So one of my friends looks at him and goes, so you guys are driving at night, right? He goes, yeah. You know those roads to the snowy mountains are quite rough? He's like, yeah. You know it's like at nighttime, right? He goes, yeah. And often trucks go that way. He goes, yeah, it is, man. Icy road? Yeah, it really is. So what if you get hit? Or you slip off the road and you die? He goes, what are you doing right now? He goes, nothing. Let's go to the beach and get baptized. And he got it. He got it. There was only two directions. He's like, I don't mind going snowboarding and dying, but at least I'm going to die safe. There's only two directions. One of my favorite ones was my friend Patrick Inman. He's in Samoa. I can't wait to see him. Very funny. God love his story. So he has been studying the Bible, and it was Saturday. We're doing the last study with him before he gets baptized the next day on Sunday. We've been excited. He's excited. His baptism is the next day. So we're doing the study. We're asking him, bro, are you ready? He goes, bro, I am more than ready. I am prepared. Oh, you seem a little bit extra excited. What happened? Are you okay? He goes, bro, I gotta tell you a story. Come on. I said, bro, what's your story? Okay. He goes, today was Saturday. He goes, yesterday on Friday, yeah, here, Friday. You know how I told you I was gonna go swimming with my whole family? I was like, yeah. For my birthday, I was like, yeah. In the river? I was like, yeah. You know how to swim, right? He goes, yeah, I know how to swim. I thought, I know how to swim. I was like, oh, what happened? He said, so man, I was swimming in the river, and Patrick is so is that when he speaks up, just deep water. And bro, like, the water was so deep, it was deeper than I thought, bro. I said, yeah, what happened? He said, and then there was a rip. I said, oh wow. He said, yeah, there was a rip. But because I'm a good swimmer, it was fine. But then I realized my cousin can't swim. And he's in the deep side with me in the rip. I was like, oh. He said, bro, I think what was right. I wanted to go save him. So I go to save this guy. I swim with him. I grab his hand. He goes, Solid is bro. He goes, but this bro, was so scared and panicking, he started drowning me. He started pushing me down. And I realized I wasn't yet baptized. I was scared. He's like, bro, so I let go of his head. I was like, wait, he what? He said, bro, you die. I let go of his head. I was like, bro, what are you doing? He said, yeah, I let go. But then I was like, I swam and I was panicking. Because I wasn't baptized. Then I saw a tree. I grabbed to the tree. I was like, wow, that's amazing. He said, but then I thought what I did was bad. I was like, yeah. He said, what did you do? He said, well, I held onto the tree, reached out my hand, he grabbed my hand and I saved him. So why? I was like, bro, I was so scared. I thought I was gonna die and I wasn't yet baptized. He said, what did you do? He said, bro, I never went into the water again that whole day. My whole family was swimming and I sat there, lying there. They're like, you don't want to swim? I was like, no, I don't want to swim. The only water I need is the baptism water. Bro, you crazy? He's like, yeah, bro, I'm ready. But life is like that. The next day, we never forget, he got baptized. It was crazy. It was so amazing. He tackled someone in the water. But that was such a great thing. But I never forget. They understood Jesse, Patrick, those are the two paths in life. Destruction or repentance. Heaven. You know, what should Lot's life teach us? Lot's life was one where he was constantly running towards distraction. Because he was worldly. Lot's life is to teach us that the world and everything in it can and will destroy us. Therefore, when it comes to the world and its desire, you must not take its bait. You must not walk, not jump, but run away from the world and run to God. Point one, don't take the bait. What is a bait? If you're an expert fisherman like me, but let the man calm down, man. He's like, yeah, you wish. Fine, I've only fished once, okay? But anyway, a bait is what you put at the hook. You know what it is? You put a bait to the hook, and then the fish takes the bait. And life is good. But if you're in the islands, there's no hooks. You just, that's the speed. Genesis chapter 11, 27 to 32. This is the account of Terah's family line. Terah became the father of Abram, Noah, and Haran. Haran became the father of Lot. While his father Terah was still alive, Haran died in Ur of the Chaldeans, in the land of his birth. Abraham and Noah both married. The name of Abraham's wife was Sarah, and the name of Noah's wife was Milcah. She was the daughter of Haran. The daughters were both Milcah and Ishmael. Now Sarai was childless because she was not able to conceive. Terah took his son Abram, his grandson Lot, son of Haran, and his daughter-in-law Sarah, the wife of his son Abram, and together they set out from Ur of the Chaldeans to Canaan. When they came to Haran, settled there, Terah lived 205 years, and he died in Haran. So Lot's father was Haran. Lot was Abraham's nephew. Lot seemed to lose his father Haran early on in his life. Lot lived under the protection and guidance of Terah and Abram. You see, upon Lot's father's death, his grandfather Terah took him along with Abraham and Abraham's life. This would have been a show of Terah taking responsibility for his grandson. He goes, my son has passed away, so let me care for my son's son. In Haran, we see that Terah dies. And it seemed like this responsibility of caring for Lot then passed on to Abram. We see this in Genesis 12, 1 to 4. It says, the Lord has said to Abram, go from your country, your people, and your father's house to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you, and I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse. And all peoples of the earth will be blessed through you. So Abram went, as the Lord had told him, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he set out from Haran. So again, it says, Lot went with Abram. You see again in Genesis 13, verse 1. So Abram went up from Egypt to the Negev with his wife and everything he had, and Lot went with him. So wherever Abraham went, Lot went with him. But when you read the story of Lot, you understand a couple things. Though Lot lived under the guidance of two powerful male role models, he did not necessarily learn from them. Life is all about imitation and having a learner's heart. That is what life is all about. Many individuals would work in close contact with others who have the skill set, strength, or spirituality that they need, but they never learn from them. Many of us want to change, but we do not want to learn. So let me ask you, do you really then want to change? You cannot tell me you want to change, but you are not a learner. That is like saying that fire and fire stops fire. No, it doesn't. It makes more fire. Everything comes down to whether you have a learner's heart. Now, when was the last time you asked someone, how can I become like you in this area? You know, you see it all the time in class. We all get annoyed at that little kid that knows all the answers. You know why? Because you're jealous. That's why. You're envious. But you never go to that little kid. Teach me to be like you. But I don't want to learn it. Teach me to be like you. In the world of Star Wars, who's your Padawan? Or are you a Padawan to someone? Or have you asked others, if you were me, here's a more deep question. If you were me, what is the one thing you would change? You know who sees you better than you? Everyone else. Everyone else sees you better than you. You know, this was true for me. My wife and I lived with my friend Joe and Carrie for 6 months in his house before we went to summer. Joe was an incredible leader. He's my mentor. He had everything that I want to imitate. I lived with him for 6 months. 6 good months. And I fought him for 6 good months. And I lost the fight. I fought him. Everything he was telling me in my life that I need to change, get better in, I just thought, I was like, bro, I'm working harder than you can imagine. I was so ticked off. And every time he kept repeating the same thing to me, I was like, bro, you need to stop it right now. And it got to the point that I got really bitter at him. I had to confess, I said, bro, I'm sorry, I've been bitter at him. Why was I bitter? I just wanted him to stop telling me what to do. He was like, the reason you want me to stop telling you what to do is that you just don't want to change. I was like, yeah, he's right, but I don't care. I just didn't want to change. Life is all about maturing to understand that those God has put in your life are there to help you, not to harm you. Some of us still don't believe that. We still believe that people are out to hurt us. How dare you tell me the truth? Well, you can't do the truth. We think that they're to harm us. They're telling you the truth because they love you. You know, there's a photo that I put in there in the sermon notes. If you dare to look, if you're brave enough to look. I want to ask you a question. What age of maturity are you up to? See, this photo shows you what people think of their fathers at different age level. You can put it as what you think of God, what you think of your mentor, those in your life. Ask yourself, what age level? Some of us want to act like we're 20, 21, 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But maybe I used to 8. Let's look. At age 5, people goes, Dad knows everything. That's when you're new to the world. Dad knows everything. Age 6, Dad knows. Age 8, maybe Dad doesn't know. Maybe Dad doesn't know. Age 10, Dad does not know. That's when you're definitely going, I know more than that. Age 12, Dad has just gone crazy. Age 14, I can't take Dad seriously. Age 18, what does Dad even know? Age 21, that is talking rubbish. Age 23, I know more than that. Age 25, that seems to know something after all. See, you're starting to take a bit of a turn. Age 30, maybe I should ask that about this. Age 40, it is amazing how that went through all this. Age 45, that has been right all along. At age 50, if Dad was here, I could have learned a lot. What age maturity are you? In terms of maturity, are you younger than your actual physical age? Are you still stuck at 8 years old where you go, maybe Dad doesn't know? Maybe those in my life just don't know. They don't understand. Are you at age 18 where you go, Dad doesn't know? Or maybe 21, Dad is talking rubbish. Many of us look at people, talk to us and go, if you just do this and this and this, it'll all work out. We go, you're just talking rubbish. And I had to learn this the hard way. I remember when COVID happened, and I spent so much time blaming COVID. I just didn't want to listen. COVID happened, and I had a very beautiful office. Candles, 3, 4, 5 candles in my office. Put all of them on in the morning. Let the smell come through my nose. But next to the office was something called my kitchen. Beautiful steam. We were saving so much money during COVID. We weren't spending nothing. So we lived the life. Salmon for lunch, salmon for dinner. Homemade burgers for lunch, homemade burgers for dinner. Homemade pizza. Oh, we're living the life. We're eating out. How do I need one burger? Maybe 2 burgers. It's small anyway. It's about this size. I went from 2 burgers to 2.5. I ate my one, ate my wife's one, and I was enjoying life. And the scale just kept going up. Right up. Right up. And you know when you look at yourself in the mirror, and you just go a bit more. I'm like, it's not that bad, love. Then I go play basketball, and I'm still schooling people in basketball. I'm like, nah, I'm fit, don't worry. That was my test. I was like, if I couldn't beat people in basketball, then I'm definitely fat. I was like, no. I'm still schooling people in basketball. I'm good. And then it was one day, we went golfing as a group. We went golfing as a group, mini golf. And we took a photo. And I was scrolling through the photos. And I saw it. I was like, is that me? I'm like, no way. My gut was just, and I was already tucking in. I was like, love, is that really how I know? She's like, I've been telling you. I was like, no, what? Just kind of get it back. My friend John noticed, he goes, bro, can I just give you a bit of advice? I think you're really gonna work on your lifestyle of losing weight. Not just about losing weight diet, but as a lifestyle. We had another friend in London, Michael Williamson, gym junkie, diet junkie. If you want to get about fitness, you guys know him. I think you really should speak to Michael. He might be able to help you. But you see, I was at a point where the pride was gone. And I think the thing that hit me was my friend was told me, he goes, you got to consider, Emmanuel, what type of future do you want to have with your kids? You love sports, don't you? I go, yes, I do. He goes, do you want to be a father that plays sports with his kids or watches his kids play sports because you can't move around? I was like, damn. That's what hit me. And I go, wow, okay. I took it seriously. He told me that day, that December, I reached out to my friend Michael. He gave me an eating plan. The next day, I followed the eating plan to the T. And in about 4 months, I lost 15 kg, like that. It was a mind blow that it worked. It is the same diet that my wife is now doing, and the women in Fiji, New Zealand, Brisbane are all following the same diet and losing weight. And I go, at a point, I had to go, time to be humble. And when these people are not talking rubbish, they're telling me the truth. It's just whether or not I'm willing to learn. See, Lot's issue was he never imitated the spirituality of Abraham, and that's what's sad. You can be around spiritual people all your life, but never learn from them. Genesis 12:1-5 says, the Lord has said to Abraham, go from your country, your people, your father's house, to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you. I will make your name great. You will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you. Whoever curses you, I will curse. And other people on the earth will be blessed through you. So Abraham went, as the Lord had told him. and Lot went with him. Abraham was 75 years old when he set out from Haran. He took his wife Sarai, his nephew Lot, and all the possessions they had accumulated, and the people they had acquired in Haran. They set out for the land of Canaan, and they arrived. See, God called Abraham to pack up his life, go from his own country, his own people, his own family, and to move to an unknown land. Yes, you might be in a land not your own, with a group of people not your people. You're not the first. God called Abraham to do this thing. You know why? Because he was ready to make nations of Abraham. Your cost might be your family. Your cost might be where the kingdom is until God sends you back. But you gotta stop thinking about yourself and understand God is trying to make you into a nation. He's trying to baptize nations through you, convert nations through you. God promised he would make Abraham great, and the land of Canaan, although currently occupied by the Canaanites, would belong to Abraham's descendants. See, such promises and calls requires faith from Abraham, doesn't it? Abraham had to believe that from nothing God will make him into something. That God is his possession and his portion, and thus he will never lack. Psalm 119 verse 57 says, "You are my portion. Lord, I have promised to obey your word." You know, I really want to lift up Better and Red. I really want to. Two incredible special women. Yeah. We had barbecue yesterday. John said, you didn't touch it a little bit, that's fine. We had barbecue. It was beautiful. We were laughing, talking about Kiribati. It was a great time. But I looked at them and go, what an inspiration. Out of a tiny, tiny little island, God has taken two incredible women and goes, I'm gonna save lives through birth. It's when you understand living in an island, you understand that everyone and their mother depends on you. Literally, you are the source of many people's joy. Yeah. You are the source of many people's happiness. And yet, both stand up and go, we want to live a life for God. And I'm just genuinely amazed because I know many people that have been in the same situation and rejected the call of God. Yeah. You know what's amazing as we've been looking at scriptures, you see them smiling. You see them just laughing. You see them going, what? I'm like, I don't know many people like it. I just don't. Many people hear the call of God and they run the opposite direction. Yeah, but both goes, take me to the core of God. And it's just simply amazing. And you understand, for both of them to be in Melbourne, you know what that means? They are literally the best of their country.
Right. Wow.
Because their government will not give scholarship to people that are not the best of the best.
Yeah, come on.
And they've got, I'm going to use my life to glorify God. Yeah. That is true love for God. And I really want to lift them up because it's inspiring for me.
Come on.
See, yeah, a lot when the time came for him to make a decision that will shape his life forever. He chose the world rather than God. Genesis 13, 5-13, it says, now Lot, who was moving about with Abraham, also had flocks and herds and tents. But the land could not support them while they stayed together. For the possessions were so great that they were not able to stay together. And quarreling arose between Abraham's herds and Lot. The Canaanites and the Perizzites were also living in the land at that time. So Abraham said to Lot, let's not have any quarrel between you and me, or between your herds and mine, for we are relatives. If this is not the whole land before you, let's part company. If you go to the left, and we go to the right. If you go to the right, and we go to the left. Lot looked around, saw that the whole plain of the Jordan towards Zorah was well watered, like the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt. This was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. So Lot chose for himself the whole plain of the Jordan and set out towards the east. The two men parted company. Abraham lived in the land of Canaan, while Lot lived among the cities of the plain and pitched his tents near Sodom. Now the people of Sodom were wicked and were sinning greatly against the Lord. So Lot chose the more materialistic land. It was well watered and beautiful. Lot chose what he could see with his eyes, not with God's eyes. He chose the world and its beauty. He probably thought, I chose better than Abraham. So in choosing the section of the land he did, Lot also chose to live where the wickedness and sin was prevalent and great against God. Sodom would eventually turn from the land of joy for Lot to the land of misery for him. He was hooked and destroyed by the world. And I really want to ask you a question. What has got you hooked? If you ever gone fishing again, fishing expert. If you ever gone fishing, hook has a bait in it, right? Mm-hmm. Have you ever had a hook stuck onto you before? If the fishing hook gets stuck into you, it gets stuck into your mouth, right here, right? It is one of the most painful things you will ever experience. With that single hook that is hooked in, you can be dragged from here to the other side of the world because the pain is so great. Yet you know what is interesting? Because it's so small, probably not even, a hook is no bigger than your finger. The way to stop the pain is for you to simply rip it out. There we go, the ripping out is too costly. I would rather live with the pain for the rest of my life. They would rather be dragged from pillar to post, dragged from one sin to another, than to rip out the pain. It might look a bit of a scar, but that is the only way to end the pain. Like Lot, are you hooked by this way? See, that's what Satan uses. Satan gets you hooked in the world. And when he hooks you, you're in. Now 1 John 2:17 says, the world and its desires pass away, but whoever does the will of God lives forever. Has Satan used family to hook you? What do I mean by that? So our goal in life should be to see our family saved. But this is only achieved by putting God and His kingdom first, not our family. That is exactly why I keep lifting up better and right. These guys are living biblical lives. I'm a bit jealous. They're living biblical lives, man. You can see the light in the Bible. So trying to see mine. Mark 3:31-35 says, and Jesus' mother and brothers arrived, standing outside. They sent someone in to call him. A crowd was sitting around him, and they told him, your mother and brothers are outside looking for you. Who are my mother and my brothers? He asked. Then he looked at those seated in a circle around him and said, here are my mother and my brothers. Whoever does God's will is my brother and my sister and mother. What a joy it is to be able to go to Samoa. Yes, it's a funeral, but a celebration of life. Juju's dad is in heaven.
Come on.
That is literally each and every one of us personal goals. Yeah. If I told you your mom or dad was getting baptized today, you can find money to fly wherever it is. That is so amazing. Even the disciples in Samoa are inspired by Juju's mother.
Yeah.
They go, we're just so inspired by her perspective and view on life. We're talking to her on the phone on Wednesday night to show our condolences. She goes, man, it's crazy. She goes, it's so crazy. We got baptized on Sunday. She goes, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is the emergency hospital. We're so grateful to God he was baptized. That is what it's all about. That is what it's all about. That one day your hands will be the hands putting your parents under the water as they're baptized. Would that little bit of pain of ripping out, would that not be worth it? As your mom, your brother, your sister are baptized, that would be the greatest thing you can imagine. You know, you're hooked by knowledge. Satan uses knowledge again to hook you. Knowledge rather than love and faith. See, knowledge, if not used correctly, makes you arrogant. 1 Corinthians 8:1 says, now about food sacrificed to idols, we know that we all possess knowledge, but knowledge puffs up while love builds up. Knowledge is like a balloon. Look at this balloon. Very simple balloon, right? Nothing much to it. But this is what knowledge does. This is like a human. Then you add knowledge. They get puffed up. Then I think they know better than you. University come. Then I think they know better than their mom and dad. Then I think they know better than God. Yeah, when you're holding your ears, you know why? Because you're scared of my pop. It's very uncomfortable, isn't it? You're uneasy, isn't it? That's what it's like being around arrogant people with knowledge. That is exactly what it feels like. They're unattractive to be around. They're unimpressive to be around. It makes you uneasy. Why? Because they're puffed up. Everyone is voting for their dear life. You know what's interesting? You know at some point this is going to pop, isn't it? Everyone that is full of knowledge always pops at some point. They always do. Because knowledge puffs up. But love, steady your agony. What about unforgiveness? Rather than peace and mercy. James chapter 3, 13 to 18, it says, whoever is wise and understanding among you, let them show it by their good life, by deeds done in the humility that comes from wisdom. But if you have a bitter envy and selfish ambition in your heart, do not boast about it or deny the truth. Such wisdom does not come from heaven, but is earthly, unspiritual, demonic. For where you have envy and selfish ambition, there you find disorder, envy, and every evil practice. But the wisdom that comes from heaven is first of all pure, then peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy, good fruit, impartial, sincere. Peacemakers who sow in peace reap a harvest of righteousness. When you're full of unforgiveness, there's no peace in your life or peace towards others. When you're full of unforgiveness, you have no mercy. Unforgiveness is like being on a giant hook. Unforgiveness is like being on a giant hook. But you know what's interesting? You are at the bottom of that hook. So you're hooked into that hook, and you're at the bottom. And guess who's on top? The person that has hurt you. Could you imagine being on a hook, just a hook through your arms, your whole life? That's very painful, isn't it? But on top of it is the person that has hurt you. They're hooked as well. The only way for you to get rid of the pain, the only way for you to get rid of that constant pain that you feel is to let the person that has hurt you off. You must push them off first. Get them off first. Let go of them first. In order for you to get off yourself and find peace. That's what it means to let go. If you don't let go of that person and just go, forgive and let go, you remain consistently in agony. Unforgiveness again is like a wood splinter. Have you ever had a wood splinter into your finger or something? Yeah. Something, I can't believe that something so small can hurt so bad. You may remove the wood splinter, clean it, clean the wound, eventually can heal. Perhaps it's only a small scar. But if it's not removed, it may become a source of an infection, isn't it? In fact, it might poison you. You might now require some significant medical treatment. If not removed, it may lead to an infection that will produce a poison called blood poisoning that can kill you. So how should you deal with the splinter? To be practical, you should first of all remove it. Take out the splinter, even though it might hurt. Then consider how the splinter came to be in your skin. So the thing about unforgiveness is, it's that wood splinter. It stays in you. It's hurting you every single day. Have you ever had a splinter when you graze past it? It sends shocks and waves up your spine. That's whenever anyone touches on a topic relating to that unforgiveness, you blow it. But then, all you need to do is to take it out. But then you gotta consider, well, how did that splinter get in? What does that mean? Stop blaming the person that has hurt you. You got the wood into your finger because of you. You can't say, "I'm stupid wood. How dare you stupidly hurt me?" No, you put your finger there and the finger hurt and you got wood inside your hands. The point is to figure out what you need to change in your own actions, even in yourself, to prevent future splinters. You know, are you putting God? Are you hooked? Where Satan is lying to you that you and other humans are more important than God. Galatians 1:10 says, am I not trying to win the approval of human beings or of God? Or am I trying to please people? If I was still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ. To think that you are higher than God is just pure arrogance. None of us are. We are his servant. Point 2, we understand Lot's life. He made bad decisions in life. But point 2, don't walk, don't jog, but run to God. So being in the world puts you in conflict. It really does. Genesis 14:8-12 says, then the king of Sodom, the king of Gomorrah, the king of Admah, the king of Zodom, the king of Bela, that is Zorah, marched out and drew up their battle lines in the valley of Siddim against Commodore, king of Elam, Tidal, king of Gold, amen, king of Shunem, Arab, king of Al-Asad, 4 kings against 5. Now the valley of Siddim was full of tar pits, and when the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled, some of the men fell into them, and the rest fled to the hills. The 4 kings seized all the peoples of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their food when they went away. They also carried off Abram's nephew Lot and his possessions, since he was living in Sodom. See, there was a conflict in the region in which Lot had chosen to live. As the kings defending Sodom and Gomorrah lost, the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah were carried off, including Lot. You see, our lives, if not directed by God, always end in chaos. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope in the future. God has plans that will better your life. But humans like to think we know better, and our plans always lead to chaos. Our decisions are chaotic. We're not directed by God because we make self-led, self-consumed, or parent-led decisions, partner-led decisions. So without God, our decision on marriage are made based on looks, the person's wealth, or parents' opinion. Marriage is one of the most interesting things. Without God, we make stupid decisions about who to marry. We go, I want to marry her because she's very attractive. Okay, no worries. Let me give you a hint. There's not every morning she wakes up, she's gonna have makeup on. And the women are like, yeah, I want freedom too. It's not every morning. She will smell at some point. No, okay, this one is a big thing for me. I never used to think that women smell. I never used to think. Genuinely, I didn't think. Because all the women I was smell nice. I realized what it is. They always spray perfume. Shock. Crazy. See, if you marry based on looks, what happens when the looks die? Maybe she has a baby. Maybe she goes through a point in life. You gonna leave now? See, you didn't make a decision based on looks. See, when the Lord allowed me to gaze my eyes upon my princess, see that gaze my eyes upon. I wrote a list of what I wanted God to give me in a wife. Looks was one of them, but it wasn't even on the top 3 list. It wasn't even. Yeah, I got a gorgeous, stunning, elegant, exceptional, 100 out of 10. But I asked for spirituality first. Because I wanted a wife that both her and I can get our kids to heaven. That's what I wanted. I wanted a wife that both her and I can get others to heaven. I wanted spirituality first. See, without God, our purpose in life is directed by our degree. You're just that degree person. That's your purpose in life. What's your purpose in life? I have 2 degrees. Good for you. What's your purpose in life? I work in front of a computer. Good for you. See, without God, our lives are chaotic because we spend all of our time trying to create an image of ourselves to please people, yet we're never truly ourselves. John 3:20-21 says, everyone who does evil hates the light and will not come into the light for fear that their deeds will be exposed. Whoever lives by the truth comes into the light, so that it may be seen plainly that what they have done has been done in the sight of God. Don't you just get fed up and try to pretend to be someone? Yeah. Don't you just get fed up and try? Man, I had enough of it in year 11. I'm just going to be me and do me. You don't like me? That's fine. It's so exhausting keeping an image up. If people don't like you for who you are, that is their loss. But so many of us live a life to hold an image. It's very exhausting. Aren't you exhausted holding an image? Just be yourself. Be true to yourself. God says He fearfully and wonderfully made you. That means God thinks how you were created was beautiful. You tell me a boy's opinion is more important than God's opinion? Or a girl's opinion is more important than God's opinion? I don't think so. Now, being in the world destroys you. Genesis 19:1-26. This is a great passage because you see, of all the choices that Lot made, it finally accumulated in this passage. It says the 2 angels arrived in Sodom in the evening, and Lot was sitting in the gateway of the city. When he saw them, he got up to meet them and bowed down with his face to the ground. My Lord, he said, please turn aside to your servant's house. You can wash your feet and spend the night and then go on your way early in the morning. No, they answered, we will spend the night in the square. But he insisted so strongly that they did go with him and entered his house. He prepared a meal for them, baking bread without yeast, and they ate. Before they had gone to bed, all the men from every part of the city of Sodom, both young and old, surrounded the house. They called to Lot, where are you? Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out so we can have sex with them. Lot went outside and met them. And he shut the door behind him and said, no, my friends, do not do this wicked thing. Look, I have 2 daughters who have never slept with a man. Let me bring them out to you, and you can do what you like with them. But don't do anything to these men, for they have come under the protection of my roof. Get out of the way, they replied. This fellow came here as a foreigner, and now he wants to play the judge. We will treat you worse than them. They kept bringing pressure on Lot, and on the house, and moved to break down the door. But the man inside reached out and pulled Lot back into the house and shut the door. Then they struck the men who were at the door of the house and went over with blindness, so they could not find the door. The 2 men said to Lot, do you have anyone else here, son-in-laws, sons or daughters, anyone else in the city who belongs to you? Get them out of here, because we are going to destroy this place. The outcry of the Lord against the people is so great that he has sent us to destroy it. So Lot went out, spoke to his son-in-laws, who had pledged to be married to his daughters. He said, hurry, get out of the place, because the Lord is about to destroy the city. But his son-in-laws thought he was joking. When he came up dawn, the angels urged Lot, saying, hurry, take your wife and your 2 daughters who are here, or you will be swept away when the city is punished. When he hesitated, the man grasped his hands and the hands of his wife and of his 2 daughters and led them safely out of the city, for the Lord was merciful to them. As soon as they had brought them out, some of them said, flee for your lives. Don't look back. Don't stop anywhere in the plain. Flee to the mountains, or you will be swept away. But the Lord said to them, no, my lords, please. Your servant has found favor in your eyes, and you have shown great kindness to me in sparing my life. But can I flee to the mountains? This disaster will overtake me, and I will die. Look, here is a town near enough to run to, and it's small. Let me flee to it. It is very small, isn't it? Then my life will be spared. He said to them, very truly, very well, I will grant this request to you. I will not overthrow the town you speak of, but flee there quickly, because I cannot do anything until you reach it. That is why the town was called Zorah. By the time Lot reached Zorah, the sun had risen over the land. Then the Lord rained down burning sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord out of the heavens. Thus, he overthrew those cities and the entire plain, destroying all those living in the cities, and also the vegetation in the land. But Lot's wife looked back, and she became a pillar of salt. So you gotta choose your part in life wisely. Lot chose Sodom as the land he would live in. Even after he was carried off by foreign kings during the war. Remember we looked at that earlier? He was carried off by foreign kings. Guess what he went back to? Sodom. Sodom was a city that was full of wickedness. The immorality or morality of that town was far gone. People's conscience had become irreparable. See, as the 2 men who were angels arrived in Sodom, think about that. Imagine I arrive at Eric's house, or someone arrives at Eric's house, and the whole entire town of Clayton rushes to Eric's door. Don't bring out these 2 men. We want to sleep with them. Just imagine how far gone that town had gone. In a lot of effort to save these 2 men, offered his 2 daughters to the group of men for them to sleep with him and do whatever they liked with his daughters. See, here is the thing. It seems like what Lot was doing was a good thing, didn't it? No, it wasn't. Perhaps some could consider Lot's action as lesser of the 2 evils, You know, whenever you're in a situation, he goes, let me just do the lesser of the two evils. That is utter rubbish. There is no such thing as the lesser of two evils. Evil is evil. Wickedness is wickedness. Sin is simply sin. Lot should never have offered his daughters to the two men. He never should have. If he was with two angels, he should have gone to them and go, tell me what to do. In essence, you should have gone to God and go, tell me what to do. But he wanted to take the matters into his hands, didn't he? He wanted to make the decision. So that's what happens when you try to take the matters into your hand. You make a decision that you think is better than the worst decision. Evil is still evil. The truth of the matter is, Lot should never have been in Sodom in the first place. He should never have left. He should have left as soon as he saw the wickedness of the city. But he chose the city knowing there was wickedness there. There was a conflict. He was carried off. He returned to Sodom. And now he's caught in a place where it's about to be destroyed. And what did it cost Lot? The life of his wife. His wife turned around and turned into a pillar of salt. Lot, it's not my fault. I didn't make her turn back. As the leader of your house, as the spiritual person in your house, you should never have put your family in that situation. See, sin corrupts and sin is deceitful. Hebrews 3:13 says, but encourage one another daily, as long as it's called today, so that none of you may be hardened by sin's deceitfulness. The fact that Lot was willing to offer his daughters to a group of men means his own heart and mind had been corrupted by Sodom. See, Lot had been corrupted. You cannot remain in the world and yet expect that you will not be tainted, corrupted by sins of the world. Some of us go, no, I'm around the world, but I'm not in the world. That doesn't work like that. It doesn't. I've been here. I've tried that. I only hang out with them. They were smoking weed. I wasn't doing nothing. So why are you there? See, this is what sin in the world is like. It's like cancer. Your digestive system, when cancer hits it. See, the cancer grows in the digestive system and can block it or partly block it. So when it blocks it, food cannot go through the gut and the nutrients and the calories you need cannot be absorbed. You might be able to have surgery to remove the blockage, but if it's not possible, your medical team will do all they can to control your symptoms. But if you cannot eat and drink, you don't get the necessary nutrients to help you with your immune system to work well. So you're less able to cope with other problems, such as infections. And slowly but surely, you die out. That is what sin is. See, sin gets into you. And it starts in small stages. So being in the world allows you to slowly but surely for sin to feed into your heart and mind. You start to get sex before marriage. It's not that bad. It's just a little sprinkle. It's not that bad. Smoking, it's not that bad. Casual or white lie, it's not that bad. Casual swearing, it's not that bad. Pornography, if I just watch it once a month, it's not that bad. I'll just ask for forgiveness. It's not that bad. I'll go with my worldly friends, get drunk a little, dance a little. Surely, it's not that bad. I read my Bible at least 3 times a week. But that's better than most of the people who don't read, right? It's not that bad. Yet as you allow more and more subtle sins to creep into your heart and mind, soon enough, like the digestive cancers, it blocks out your mind and heart from thinking spiritually. See, as your mind and heart are blocked, there is no longer enough spirituality in you to fight against sin. So you eventually just give in completely. That's when people go, I just don't know how I ended up here. You do know. It's called that time when you thought the small sin wasn't that bad. That was when it came. Romans 8:5 says, those who live according to the flesh have the mindset of what the flesh desires. Those who live according to the Spirit have the mindset of what the Spirit desires. So the result of Sodom was its destruction by fire from God for its wickedness. So God offered an escape plan for Lot, his 2 daughters, and Lot's wife. Lot's wife, when told not to look back, and turned into a pillar of salt. Lot, when told to flee to the mountains by God's angels, once more he chose to flee to a town that seemed better. See, Lot still had not learned to take God's direction, had he? He was still trying to take care of his own life. You know what's sad? I didn't include in this. You know what's sad? When you keep reading the story of Lot, Lot now gets to this town that he thinks is great. His daughters see no man for them to marry. They get their father drunk, and both of them sleep with their father. Lot's choices in life. Think about where he started with Abraham. Think about what Abraham became. Could Lot have become one of another forefathers, one of the other founding fathers of our faith? But he just never took God's direction. Now, what do we have to learn from Lot's life? Lot spent his life always heading in the direction of chaos, conflict, and destruction because he always chose the worldly path rather than the spiritual path. So though God and Abraham would rescue Lot, he never learned. So ask yourself, are you running to God or destruction? Are you running to the world or God's kingdom? Are you making spiritual decisions or worldly decisions? Are you learning from the Bible and the spiritual people God has put in your life or the world? So I really want to lift up that. What an incredible decision to make.
Come on.
I'm going to get baptized today. That is a woman that goes, I'm done with the things of the world. I want to run to God and not to destruction. And today's title is, are you running to God or destruction? Simply ask yourself, do you want to be a better? Or do you want to be something else? You see, when you are better, you become better.